opinions and views expressed in the following program are those of the speakers and the host, and do not necessarily reflect those of Yoakley Scott Corporation and your sports network. Hello, everybody. Welcome inside a Friday episode of Running Point on YSNLive.com. It is officially the last Friday of September. Can you believe that? Next Friday, we're going to be in October. Feels like the fall sports season just started. Feels like yesterday we were transitioning from the summer sports coverage and doing all of our softball and baseball stuff to going into football. And now here we are, week 6 of the, my hands didn't even show up in the screen. Week 6 of the high school football season, and we are so excited. Thank you so much for joining us today on Running Point, brought to you as always by our good friends, top right-hand corner of the screen right there, Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. They deserve a round of applause for all they do for us and for all they do for you, really, because when they do stuff for us, they also do stuff for you. We wouldn't be where we are as a company, as YSN. I wouldn't be where I am as a show host because the show wouldn't exist without Greenwood Chevrolet. So we thank them for their wonderful sponsorship every day. We have a lot in store for you today. We're going to go into the scoreboard from last night, go over the action that happened on the volleyball court, soccer fields as well. And we're also going to be diving into a player profile today. We're going to be featuring Lakeview's Thomas Easton, maybe one of the fastest men in the area. Man, this guy can go so fast on the football field. He's like lightning, and I had a chance to catch up with him this week, so we will feature his player profile on today's show as well. And then we will talk about the week ahead, what this week looks like, right? What this really fun week 6 of football looks like. We'll also look into the weekend as well. So we're going to have some fun today. Let's start it like we always do. Let's hop in the scoreboard, take a look at the scoreboard from last night. And here you go. The YSN scoreboard is a great tool for the YSN fans, whether you're at one of the games or watching one of our broadcasts. Either way, you don't want to look away from the action for too long. And the YSN scoreboard is a great and easy way to get live updated scores across the YSN family, whether they are your best friends or maybe your heated rivals. You always want to know what they're doing. You want to know what they're getting up to. And the YSN scoreboard, quick way to do it. You don't have to look for too long. We have a great team behind the scenes that makes sure that this scoreboard is as live updated as humanly possible. And it is presented by our good friends over at Burnett Pools, Spas, and Hot Tubs. It can be found at ysnlive.com/scores. Let's go into it. Thursday, September 26th. Volleyball, Orange hosting Hawken. And Hawken comes away with the 5-set victory. Tough one for Orange men home. Edgewood gets to sweep over to Lakeside. Big win for the Warriors there. Jefferson, same thing. They get the 3-2 win over Madison, a big win at home. So both those teams getting wins out of the 4-4-0. We move over to West Branch. They got the 3-0 win over Salem. We scroll over and see that Youngstown East got the win over Lutheran East. That's the first win of the year for East, so congratulations to the Bears. Grand Valley gets the 3-1 victory over Fairport Harding. East Liverpool continues to roll as they get the sweep over Harrison Central. Toronto comes into Edison, gets the sweep over the Wildcats. Girard gets the sweep over Poland. Let's see. Mohawk went to Rochester, got the 3-0 win in sweeping fashion. Big win for the Warriors there. LeBray gets back on track. They get the sweep over Brookfield. Howland and Canfield doing battle in the AAC. This is round 2 between those two teams. They played each other earlier this year. In Canfield, Cardinals got the win that time around. Howland comes out and gets to win this time around. Really close sets. The Tigers able to pull it off in 4. Champion gets the sweep over Southeast 3-0. That's win number 13 on the year for Champion. West Geauga, they fall to Perry. Perry gets the big win 3-1 at home. Hubbard does a excuse me. Hubbard gets a sweep over Struthers. Beaver Local goes on the road and they get the 4-set victory over Indian Creek. We go to Hoban. They're at home. They stay undefeated. They get the sweep over Louisville. It was senior night, by the way, as well. And I want to remind everybody that Gary Leininger was at this game, our ace photographer. So if you are a fan of Hoban or Louisville volleyball, make sure to go on, check out our Ysn Smug Mug for pictures from that game. The link to that page can be found at the bottom of the story on ysnlive.com. We had a great recap, like we always do, from Ty Bartell, post-game interviews with all of the seniors from Archbishop Hoban. So make sure to go check that out, ysnlive.com. We had Pymatuning Valley get the sweep over Maplewood last night. Badger, they are able to get the sweep over Matthews as well. Crestview, their third game in as many days, they sweep Newton Falls. The second set, though, the Tigers showed a little bit of push. 25-18. And I know that's like, oh, big whoop. They lost by, they still lost. But I'm telling you, 25-18 is better than most teams fare in the MVAC. So the Tigers have some stuff to be proud of from last night's game against Crestview. Beaver goes on the road, gets the win against Oakland Catholic. South Range falls to Lakeview. Lakeview still top of the NE8 right now. They get the sweep over the Raiders 3-0. It was pink night. We congratulate both teams on being able to participate in that and working together for a great cause. Southern Local, they win in 5 over Lisbon, 3-2, your final score there. Springfield sweeps Lowell 3-0. We had Columbiana have a milestone night. Ellie Jackson is now a member of the 1,000 Assist Club as they got the sweep over United, and she got that milestone. Boardman, also owners of a milestone, as Ava Commons got her 1,000th career assist in that game as Boardman gets the sweep over Warren Harding. Jackson Milton gets the 4-set win over Waterloo. Waterloo won the first set. Jackson Milton won a very close second set, dominated the third set, and then found themselves down 24-17 in set 3. And then scored 9 points in a row to win set 4, and win the match in 4. So a good job by Jackson Milton, the rally from down 7. Wellsville goes to East Palestine. They get the win in straight sets 3-0. That was a milestone night for Wellsville because Bella Popplewriter got her 1,000th career dig on the night. So congratulations to Bella, and what a wonderful game that was for her. Campbell gets the win in 4 over Western Reserve 3-1 as the Red Devils continue to run through the schedule. They're really playing well second half of the season. Boys soccer action. We had Perry and Jefferson get together. Perry all over this one, 6-1. Louisville gets the shutout over Barberton 2-0. South Range, they fall to Hubbard 9-0, the final score there. Ursuline gets the win over Badger 2-1, your final. We have Girard, they fall to Poland 4-0. Canfield and Boardman getting together, and it is Canfield with the huge win 9-1. Austintown Fitch, they win over Howland 3-1, the final score there. Cardinal Mooney gets the win over Warren Harding 6-1. We have Beaver Local, they get the win over St. Clairsville 6-0. Niles, they get a win. Lakeview, they get a win over Niles 7-0, the final score there. Lordstown and Pymatuning Valley, a close game, but Lordstown gets the 3-2 victory over Pymatuning Valley. Mohawk and Beaver, the all Ysn matchup is all Beaver 8-0. They get the win over the Warriors. Carrollton goes to Crestview, and they fall 7-3, a big win for the Rebels at home. Girls soccer, Jefferson and Berkshire. And it's Berkshire all the way there, 6-1, the final score on that game. Palmatooning Valley playing Geneva. It's Geneva with the 1-0 victory. Perry gets a 2-1 win over Chardon on the road. Orange hosting Chagrin Falls, and Chagrin Falls gets the 1-0 victory there. Lakeside wins 1-0 over Brush. Columbiana, Waterloo, and Waterloo gets the win 3-1. On that game, Rootstown and Springfield, they fight to a tie. That is a scoreless draw. Crestview gets the win over LeBray 3-0. And then last but not least, Crestwood comes into champion, and they win 6-1 over the Flashes. That ends the Flashes' long no-loss streak. They had a tie last week, but they have lost for the first time in a while. They'll have to bounce back in that regard as they play again next week. So that is your recap from last night. You can find a bunch of stories from last night's games on ysnlive.com. You can also find some post-game interviews with, let's see, Hoban got a post-game interview from Ty Bartell. I did post-game interviews with Jackson Milton. So you'll find the Hoban seniors on our YouTube page, and you'll also find post-game interviews with Grace Johns, Coach Prosy, and Coach Kenny from Jackson Milton, and also Brenda Macbeth as well from Jackson Milton. So make sure to go over to our YouTube page, check out those post-game interviews, as great athletes highlight great performances, right? So we had a great night, and we're going to continue to have a great day here on Running Point. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we have a player profile to feature. We're going to go into Thomas Easton from Lakeview. His player profile, we'll feature it. We'll go into tonight's games then after that and have some fun previewing the weekend. So don't go anywhere. Running Point, always brought to you by our good friends, Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Back in a bit.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
From on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means we want to take care of the community that takes care of us too.
And we have to work together always. And that's how you stay in business for 40 years.
You know, I love being a helper because when I help somebody, it makes me feel good.
It means a lot that I can make a difference in others' lives.
So I will do everything I can and just being there for them every step of the way.
I want them to know within the first 5 minutes that they could depend on me. That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com, brought to you by our good friends over at Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. Today, we're going to continue to go the extra mile for you by, what's the word? I just had a complete brain fart. By featuring a player profile from Thomas Easton from Lakeview. What a great interview this is, and a great athlete for sure from Lakeview. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Here's Thomas Easton from Lakeview. All right, Anthony Hartwig here. We are in the Cortland for a Lakeview football player profile. We're joined by senior Thomas Easton. Thomas, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
All right, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You got it. Senior year, last ride. I mean, what's the mentality going into this year, knowing it's your last chance to really make a mark on this program?
Just that I just want to win, and like just going into every play like it's my last, like it's crazy growing up here. Football is just and everything, but just got to just treat every play like it's my last and give it 100% no matter what.
You're a part of a senior class that I think everyone knows has kind of turned this football program around. It wasn't too long ago when Lakeview was, struggling to get wins, and now you guys are out there. You're building a winning culture. What's it feel like to be a part of a senior class that is trying to, put the building blocks of a true winning football culture out there?
It feels awesome just because like a lot of our guys, especially our seniors, we put in so much time from the time that ever since we got in high school. And it's like we had a couple of transfers come in, and just like all of us being together, it's like treating it like a brotherhood. It really helped us to turn this place around.
We can break down the X's and O's and see what you guys are doing so good on the football field and all that fun stuff. But a culture-wise, from inside the locker room, what do you attribute the turnaround to? What has made it so such a good environment to go out and win football games?
I just say the brotherhood, just because everyone inside that locker room gets along. It's like you pick up your brother when he's down, just pick each other up. And our coaches, they've had a great game plan every single week. And I credit them just as much as I credit our team. And I think everything together, it just really put everything together. And I love it. I'm excited for this year.
I think one of the hallmarks of a team that is here to win and here to stay, a program that is here to stay, is how you respond after a tough week. Everyone saw what happened at South Range. It's tough. You bounce back the next week and you play well. Talk about what it was like to have that mentality of next week up in this program, and how that's been lacking the last several years in this program, and now it's here.
We just leaned on each other. We realized we were going through some adversity with a couple of guys sick and injuries. We were like, we could easily pick this back up. And we looked to the guy next to us, and we were just like, we could do this. And it was just a mentality thing. And our coaches, again, with another great game plan, and we just turned it around. We said we're going to go right back on a winning track, and we hope to keep that up.
Now, when we watch you on tape, my word, you are a highlight waiting to happen. Big play potential. What's working so well for your game this year? What's kind of breaking you out and making you have so much open space?
In previous years, I was like most of the guy that could get the plays done. But this year, we got receivers and a really good quarterback, so it opens up our offense and allows them to take people out of the box, which gives me more room. So without them and the offensive line has been doing a great job this year. So everyone around me has lifted me up and given me more opportunity to do what I like to do.
Talk about the feeling, and we've seen you do it a couple of times this year where you maybe turn the corner or you break a hole and you all of a sudden realize that you have daylight and a big play's about to happen. I mean, what's going through your mind?
It's kind of like foggy, to be honest. Like when I see green grass, I just go, and I don't really think about it till after, but it's like the thinking about it as the play's going on, it's just like you got to slow the game down, and you don't want to think everything too fast, because if you think everything too fast, you're going to make a mistake. So I like to slow the game down, and then when I see that gap, I just go.
You slow the game down, but your running is not slowed down at all. Do you realize how fast you're going, or do you have to watch yourself on tape and go, dang?
I don't feel that fast. Sometimes I feel like I'm running kind of slow, but then after I'm like, oh, okay, I was moving there a little bit. Yeah.
You got to be one of the fastest guys in the area. I mean, do you have people that you would like to race, maybe that you see maybe on tape or maybe on the team that's like, man, let's just take off the pads for a minute and let's see who's fastest?
I gotta say Tyreek Hill. I'm sure he'd beat me. He definitely would beat me, but that'd be a fun one just to get out there and beat.
We'll set it up for you.
All right, sounds good.
He races a lot. We'll tag him in this interview. All right.
All right.
Let's go over kind of you off the field as well. You're a student athlete. Student comes first in that phrase for a reason. Talk about your studies and some of the things that interest you in the school.
So actually in recent years, I have struggled a lot, just with my mindset, just thinking it didn't matter. And these last 2 years, I'd say I put a lot of work into picking it up and turn it around. And one thing I do have interest in is business. I do like the business aspect of it. I took entrepreneurship last year, just classes like that. And I like stuff like that.
Usually when students, halfway through their high school career turn grades around, there's something that kind of is the reality check for them, something that's forces them to, okay, it's go time. What was that for you? What made you kind of wake up and say, okay, I got to start taking this really seriously?
Oh, definitely my head coach. He was on me a lot, and I would say a big one is my mother. And like just seeing her feel disappointed, and it's just like that really hit me. And I was like, I don't want to let her down. And I know I'm not dumb. I know I could turn myself around, so I put more effort in, and I turn it around pretty quick.
Now, that being said, how proud does it make you to see like how far you've come since then? And when you look at your grades now, I mean, how proud of you are, how proud of you of yourself for, putting in the work, like you say?
It actually makes me feel really good because like seeing like hard, like just like on the field, if you see hard work turn out good, it makes you want to work harder. So seeing like me have success in the classroom, it just makes you want to keep having more. So like I just say, I'm more motivated now to keep going now that I've seen success.
Let's go back to the interest in business. What kind of business interests you? Is there some kind of business you want to go into? Some kind of product you think you want to sell?
I haven't really decided yet. I've been talking to my parents about it and a couple of my coaches, but I'm undecided as of right now. But I'd say like I also like another like a field I have interest in is like sports management, sports marketing, like stuff like that. Like I haven't like fully decided yet, but I haven't really thought too much about a business yet.
Have you thought about kind of future after high school colleges that you might want to go to and things like that?
I was thinking Mountain Union. Mountain Union would be a good one. I like YSU. Pitt would be a nice one too. Mountain Union wants me to come play football, so that's where I'm leaning right now.
When you think about a football program and kind of some of the things that they could offer to appeal to you, what do you think Mountain Union could bring to your doorstep and make you feel like you want to be a part of that team?
The winning culture over there is something I like, and just how they do things. They do things a certain way, and they stick to it. And like I really like that over there because when I talked to the coach, he seemed really cool, and it just seemed like I love the winning culture. That was my favorite part about it.
I love that you brought up your head coach earlier and how much he pushed you to get the grades up, because culture doesn't turn around without the guy on top, pushing it. So talk about your head coach and your coaching staff and what they've meant to you.
Coach Bush, our head coach, he's a second-year head coach now. He took over the role after the previous head coach left, and he's done a fantastic job. Every single day he's pushing us because he tells our seniors that he believes in this senior class, and he said it starts with us. So starting with him and then our defensive coordinator, Coach Romano, he's put a great game plan in every week, and we just follow those two. And our other coach, our other staff, we follow them, and like they've gotten the job done for us every single week so far, and I couldn't be more thankful for them.
Because he came in late 2 years ago, you haven't had a whole lot of time to build this big trust with him. So what was it about him and the way he went about things that instantly made you be able to build that trust and relationship with him as a coach?
I think it's the way he presents himself with like how he shows he believes in us, and him showing he believes in us like makes us feel like we could like give that same trust back to him. And I think that's been a huge part of it.
Do you remember like the first interaction with him and maybe like the first impressions you had?
Yeah. So when he first took over the job, I was still at JFK and I was coming back, and I remember meeting him and him telling me that like, this wasn't like, you're not going to walk back in here and start all this stuff. And I think that made me want to work harder, like, cause I knew like it wasn't going to be handed to me. And I remember that like it was yesterday. Yeah.
You seem like a guy that really always sets the bar higher for himself. You've already done a lot of good things this year. What are some goals that you've set now already that you want to do that you haven't accomplished yet this senior season?
I want to break the rushing yard record for the school, and obviously a huge one would be a playoff win. Forget me. I want to talk about the team first. A playoff win would be huge first because I don't think our school has ever done this, so that would be huge. We made it last year for the first time in a long time, and we came up short. But I think this senior class can get it done as long as like with everyone else around us. But back to me, another thing would be a Trumbull County Player of the Year. I missed week 2 and 3, which kind of hurt me, but I think I'm picking it back up a little bit. I still have hope. But that's one I've been wanting to have since like I was a freshman. Yeah.
Talking about playoffs, you guys did go last year. You had that experience. What did you learn about what it takes to win playoff games in last year's playoffs?
That every single play matters, like special teams all the way to offense and defense. Like, had guys take plays off, things here, there. And it showed in the end that once it gets serious, once playoff comes, you can't do the little things like that. And so you got to perfect all the little things of every aspect.
One of the things that comes with success and what you guys have been able to have, not just you, but the senior class, you're all role models to the freshmen, to the underclassmen, even to the players that are younger that are going to be coming up in high school here in a couple of years. What's it like for you to know that like guys are looking to you for, guidance and inspiration?
It makes me feel good because like I know I have to set an example, and it pushes me like harder to like know that if I do this right, I got people looking up that like they're gonna like follow my example. So it makes me not want to like slack off at all because like I don't want to set the example to them.
On the flip side, who were some of your role models, the guys that you kind of look to and follow their example?
My freshman year, there's this guy named Antoine Brown. He was a senior. He was very, very good. And like I was just like when I was like thinking, I was like, I want to be like as good as him when I was older. And the two biggest ones were definitely my parents, just because like I know every day they go and they go to work, they put all this time in. And they showed me that if I put something into it, like I'm gonna get something out of it. And they've just pushed me really hard to do that, like all the time.
With how hard they've worked to kind of give you what you have in life, how cool is it to look up in the stands every night, every Friday night lights? And I'm sure they're one of the first faces you look for. What kind of boost does that give you to know that they have your back in the stands every night?
It actually feels great. I mean, after every single play I make, even before the game, they're the first people I look up to and give a little wave at to let them know I'm paying attention. And like it just gives me like this little boost that I have like someone like in my corner and like just someone that has my back. So it makes me play harder.
We're going to expand on this with our last question. The thing that we do at the end of these profiles, every time we give the athlete the chance to take the limelight off themselves a little bit and shine a light on the people that are there for them in their corner, that support them throughout their whole career. So I want to give you the time to kind of give out thank yous and shout outs to the people that you think deserve it and the people that you think have really helped you along the way.
I'd like to thank both my parents. Like I said, they push me all the time, constantly. Also, my grandparents, like when my parents can't be there, they're always there. They're always making sure I have what I need and other stuff like that. And I'd also, another big one would be my friends. My friends, like we've all came together. Like just everything wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my friends in the senior class. So for turning around, I'm thankful for them too.
Thomas, we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We appreciate your time. We wish you the best of luck the rest of this senior season, and we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
I appreciate you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Now you can see every school, to the smallest school, to the intermediate schools, to the schools in the outlying areas. It gives you coverage that you could just never get to before. It's something that's great to experience, and it's opened up a whole new wave of sports viewership. The possibilities are endless here at YSN. Push the envelope every day. Try something new. If it works, great. If it doesn't, well, let's try another angle, and we just keep moving forward. My name is Mike Ackelson, and my sports network is your sports network.
What can you do on over 5,000 acres? At Mill Creek Metro Parks, you can discover unique habitats and wildlife, create memorable family moments, experience history, heritage, and park programs, explore scenic landscapes, take time to relax and be well, connect with nature and each other. Come see what's new at Mill Creek Metro Parks. Plan your trip now at millcreekmetroparks.org.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means taking care of our local customers.
And it's just a great feeling to put them in a vehicle and get them all excited about a new vehicle.
At the end of the day, our goal is to be someone our customers can count on.
And every day I'll go the extra mile for the community so they can trust us.
To do anything that would convenience the customer or make them feel more at home.
Realizing, number one, that we're here for them and that we're not going to go away.
That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Sorry about that. I was muted. Rookie mistake. Welcome back to Running Point on ysnlive.com. Brought to you by those guys you just heard from in that commercial break, Greenwood Chevrolet in Austintown. And they go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day. And we just did that with a great interview with a guy in Thomas Ysn that I think has had a great journey. He realized that, like, halfway through his high school career, he's I'm not working hard enough, and he got pushed from some people from outside, from inside his circle, his coaches, his family. You need to work. You need to really put your head down now, and he did. And now here he is, one of the premier players in the area, going for Trumbull County of the Year, maybe, possibly. I think I'm looking at Trumbull County, and I'm thinking, if he finishes off the year really, really strong in these last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah, um, what's to stop him? What's to stop him from having Trumbull County Player of the Year? He's already lit up the scoreboard in the games he has played. Yes, he missed a couple of weeks there with an injury, a slight injury, but we've seen before where those postseason awards take that into account. We've seen that with the league awards. We've seen that with county awards. Sometimes the people that vote on this kind of understand, like, all right, they were hurt, but they still put up stats that were really, really good, and they'd probably be the best stats in the county if they had played those two games. So voters can be smart, and they can realize, like, hey, we have to factor in the fact that they miss games, and that could happen. I would not be surprised in the slightest if Thomas Easton won Trumbull County Player of the Year. He's having a great year. Lakeview's having a turnaround year, and we are going to go into the scoreboard to see who not only Lakeview plays, but who is playing who in Week 6 and all the big matchups. We bring it back up on the screen for you. Scoreboard on ysnlive.com, brought to you by Burnett Pool Spas and Hot Tubs. This is how you change days. If you're new to the scoreboard, you go to the bottom here, and you can see the dates down there. You just click on the date that you want to see. We're going for September 27th, which is today. And let's look at the Friday night football action. We will start in PA. Beaver hosting McGuffey tonight. Sorry, McGuffey. We have Alliance going to Salem tonight. Fitch going to Ursuline. Salem, though, let's just backtrack a little bit. Salem coming off of back-to-back losses that have just been heartbreakers. They're trying to really find a way. I think it's homecoming tonight. They're at home against an Alliance team that lost quite a bit of talent last year. Opportunity for Salem to get some momentum back. And, they're going to have a lot of energy with homecoming. Homecoming always does that. So, we're looking for a big Quakers victory tonight over the Aviators. A premier matchup here, Fitch and Ursuline. Both teams have looked really, really good in the first chunk of the season. This should be a fun one. The run game and the defense for Austintown Fitch has been what's on display, especially in the last few weeks. You look at the scores the last few weeks. The offense for Fitch hasn't been blowing people out. They haven't been, running away with games. But what they have been doing is slowing the game down, taking those long, methodical drives, and then ending those drives with scores, right? And then their defense has just been suffocating. Now, Ursuline, on the other hand, kind of a little bit of everything. They're a very dynamic offense. They have plenty of weapons outside. They still have a good run game. They always will. They have a great interior line. They're dynamic, right? And it's going to be really hard for Fitch to stop everything. But I think Fitch, like always, will key in on the run first and then have to deal with the pass, but try to make them one-dimensional. I think that's going to be the key to stopping Ursuline if they are able to. Make them one-dimensional, make them predictable. If you are having trouble stopping both facets of the game, then they can get real tricky, and then you don't know what's coming. But if you stop one, if you stonewall their run game, which is the one that Fitch is going to focus on most, because that's where their defense thrives, then you make them one-dimensional, you make them predictable, and maybe your secondary can adjust to that as well. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a fun one at Ursuline tonight between Fitch and Ursuline. Crestview going to be trying to stay hot as they stay at home. They host Brookfield. Can't figure Brookfield out. They looked really, really good 2 weeks ago. They fell last week. Offense looks fine. Defense shaky at times. Crestview looking really good. So these are two teams, one that has looked good sometimes, one that has looked good consistently. But if that Brookfield team shows up, sneaky good game. Canfield on the road, they're going to try to weather the storm in Dover against the Tornadoes. Louisville, remember that every game they've lost this year, although they have lost 3, they're 2-3. Every single game has been by one possession. So what you can count on today is that it's either going to be a Louisville blowout where they blow out the team and win because that's how they've gotten their wins, or it's going to be a very close game, and hopefully Louisville could pull that out this time. They are playing in very, very tight contests where they just haven't been able to make those game-winning plays down the stretch. LeBray playing host to Champion. Champion struggling, obviously, this season. LeBray trying to find every win they can possibly take. Latonia and Columbiana playing each other tonight in Latonia. In the Bears Den, that's a good old-school rivalry there. East Liverpool on the road at Cambridge tonight. Fairport Harding going to be traveling to Grand Valley in the 440, and then we have Garrettsville Garfield going to Southeast. It's an old Portage Trail rivalry. These two teams are very familiar with each other. So I think there will be a little bit more juice in those tackles tonight, probably. Edgewood going to be hosting Geneva tonight. Edgewood lost a lot of offense, still trying to find that offensive identity. Lakeview trying to keep the ship up as they went and beat Niles last night. They're trying to keep it on track, and they will host Girard tonight. That's going to be a very good Girard team coming in. They've scored exactly 21 points the last two games. So if you're Lakeview, you're thinking, hey, if we get in the high 20s, low 30s, maybe right now the Girard offense is struggling to keep up with shootouts. So if Lakeview can jump on them early, get a lead, that would be a big, big advantage for Lakeview. Orange will be at home as they play Harvey tonight. They're trying to go to 5-1 on the year. Niles will be hosting Hickory, PA. Jefferson will be on the going on the road. They're going to play Conneaut. Lisbon will be on the road. They play United. Middle Ridge will be at home. They have a 2-game winning streak. They're trying to keep that winning streak going into 3 as they host Lowville, who's coming off that tough loss last week. So Lowville will be very motivated, but they're going into a very hot environment in Middle Ridge, a team that is finding a lot of momentum and confidence in the second half of the season. Ashtabula Lakeside, they're hosting Madison tonight. Mohawk goes to Wyndham. West Branch will be at home against Minerva as they start EBC play with the Lions. Newton Falls travels to Liberty. And then Perry, they're going to Lutheran West tonight. By the way, Perry football just had their first YSN player profile get featured on the website. I had a chance to talk to Walter Moses, their all-star quarterback that's going to Toledo to continue his football career. Make sure to check that out at ysnlive.com. And once again, welcome to the YSN family, to the Perry Pirates. South Range at home against Poland, and this is just, it's the rivalry that formed, and I've talked about this before. This is kind of the game in every sport that feels a little bit more intense than the other NEA games. And we wondered when this conference was formed, a lot of teams that were never in a conference together before, what rivalries would form. And this South Range Poland rivalry really starting to heat up. And Poland coming in off a win. They had a dominating win against Hubbard. South Range, the same thing, dominating win over Struthers. So what's going to happen tonight, right? Last time these two teams played, it was a wonky game, right? It was close for a little bit. Poland was able to keep it there. South Range still won by, I think, at least 2 possessions at the end. That was in Poland. This is in South Range, where we said it every week, and we'll continue to say it until it's not true. No one in the league has come into South Range and won. Poland trying to be the first tonight. Pymatuning Valley going on the road to Ashtabula St. John tonight. Southern going to East Palestine. The Bulldogs trying to get another win inside the EOAC after their offense looked really good against Valley Christian. Jackson Milton will be hosting Springfield tonight. Struthers going to Hubbard. Any 8 games are always going to be good, right? This is like the SEC of high school football. You just know they're high caliber programs. They're always going to be good games. So that's Struthers and Hubbard 1. That'll be good as well. Union Local makes the trip down to Beaver Local. So the Beavers going to be trying to fly high after their win last week. They come from behind victory over Salem. Valley Christian will travel to Wellsville tonight. Waterloo goes to McDonald. We have Western Reserve going to Campbell Memorial. Edison going to Toronto. Warren JFK travels to Mogador. East on the road, they'll play at Dawn Community. And then Howland on the road at Notre Dame Cathedral Latin. Those are your Friday night games. Let's get you the broadcast schedule tonight and who will be on the call for the games that you want to see on ysnlive.com. So here's the schedule tonight. We have Beaver and their homecoming game against McGuffey will be covered by CJ Schroeds. Matt Mowry and Jared Niederheiser will be in Salem for their matchup with Alliance. Tim Corso on the call for Austintown Fitch and Ursuline. Tony Perazio has you covered for Brookfield and Crestview. Rob Johnson, they got you covered for Canton Central Catholic and Louisville. Joe Eusebio will be on the road with Columbiana as they go to Latonia. Tyler Hartz has you covered for Grand Valley and Fairport Harding. Ty Bartell has you covered for Southeast and Garfield. Larry Jennings going to be on the call for Edgewood and Geneva. We have Anthony Malone going to Lakeview with Gerard to be on the call for that one. Noah Ricks has you covered for Harvey at Orange. And Dakota Kotzel has you covered for Hickory and Niles. The WOW TV crew will be covering Conneaut like they always do. They do a great job down there. Derek Rhodes and Larry Scragg will be on the call for Lisbon and United. So that's going to be a tandem dual broadcaster game there. Eric Hughes and Chris Sigler are going to be on the call for Lowville and Mineral Ridge. And then Scott Demos going to be on the call for Madison and Lakeside. The school will have you covered for Minerva West Branch, so make sure to check out their website for the link there, their Huddle TV link. Newton Falls and Liberty will have you covered by Jordan Barber. He'll be on the call for that one. DJ Oakley and Sam Bellino, the last game at South Range. They've had 6 in a row. This is their last home game, so last time you're going to hear DJ call a South Range game probably until the playoffs when they're back at home. He'll be with Sam Bellino tonight as Poland comes to town. Sam Torres and Chad Paul going to be on the call for Pymatuning Valley and Ashtabula St. John. Tim Figley has you covered for East Palestine and Southern Local. We have Zach Svensson and Braden Balla on the call for Struthers and Hubbard. Mike McKenzie will have you covered at the Beaver local game. Gary Altizer, the voice of the Wellsville Tigers, he's got you covered for them in Valley Christian. Matt Marr and Chris Colucci have you covered for Western Reserve and Campbell. And that'll do it for our broadcast schedule tonight. We do want to remind you that nope, sorry, that's not canceled. We will go into tomorrow's schedule too. Let's bring up tomorrow's scoreboard first, and then we'll go over the broadcast schedule because there is action tomorrow, although it's a lighter Saturday than most. No. All right. September 28th. Here we go. Here's what tomorrow is going to look like. We have Mooney and Boardman, all YSN matchup happening on Saturday. So that'll be covered. That's the only show in town for football tomorrow. Volleyball, Archbishop Hoban back in action as they're undefeated. They'll face Glen Oak. We have Valley Christian and Cheney. Field going to go to Waterloo. Southeast goes to Grand Valley. Canfield going to be on the road at the Perry Invitational. That's a big tournament at Perry. There's going to be a bunch of teams there. Jefferson will also be there as well. Brookfield will go to McDonald tomorrow. Springfield hosting Liberty tomorrow. Edison and Harrison Central. And Heartland Christian going to Steubenville Central Catholic. So that is your slate tomorrow for volleyball. We go to boys soccer. And we have Hoban at Boardman tomorrow. It's going to be a good one to kind of catch Hoban if you're a Hoban fan in the area. Minerva will go to Louisville. We have Weir at Beaver Local. Columbiana traveling to Newton Falls. Crestwood going to Southeast. Pymatuning Valley at Conneaut. Orange will be on the road against Willoughby South. Poland goes on the road at Marlington. We have Cardinal Mooney going on the road as well. They're going to be at Berlin Highland. Mohawk will play Avonworth, and then Beaver will be at home tomorrow against Keystone Lake. Girls soccer does 4 games tomorrow. Beechwood at Edgewood. We have Perry going to Berkshire. Cardinal Mooney going to be at Highland, just like their boys teams. That'll be a boys-girls doubleheader. And then Crestwood coming to town as they will face Southeast tomorrow as well. Games you can expect on the network tomorrow. The Boardman football game will be covered by Donnie Riccatelli and Don Mashula, so make sure to get down to that. Boardman and Hoban will be covered at 1 o'clock by Matt Maher, and then Rob Johnson will have you covered for boys soccer for Minerva and Louisville. So 2 soccer games, 1 football game on the network tomorrow, as well as – no, that's it. Sorry. 1 football game, 1 soccer game, both on the network tomorrow on ysnlive.com/live. So that will get you set for the whole weekend. We'll want to also remind you that the Power Hour Super Show, where all of our guys talk about in-depth all these games, they make their picks as well. That's coming up at 3 to 4 to get you ready for the kickoff of these games. Kickoff tonight, 7 o'clock. Mike Algolson and myself will have the audible call. Eric Oates will be on the computer, so he'll be queuing up the switcher and everything like that. We will also have the scoreboard show, Joe Dickey Electric scoreboard show at around 10 o'clock to talk about all the final scores. So tune into all those. Tune into the audible call. Tune into the games. Tune into the scoreboard show. All that fun stuff. It's a Friday. Fridays are fun. Live it up. TGIF. We'll be back on Running Point on Monday, 1 to 2. And we will see you then. Have a great weekend, everybody.